Welcome everyone to Awesome Truth, a wrestling book club. I'm your host, Steve Semino, and with me as always is my co-host, Walt Schwenk. Hey, Walters.
Hello, Steven. How's it going?
My friend, it is going very well. We are back on Awesome Truth, Walt, and today we are doing something very timely, very appropriate. We are returning to mere days ago when WrestleMania 42 aired. The I was gonna say I was gonna joke about it being beloved or not, but I feel like we've already done that before it even aired. So let's just be honest, it was
Mm,
not very beloved, and that's why we want to talk about it, Walt, because I think we want to actually watch for ourselves and see if one of its heralded bad matches is as bad as everybody says.
yeah, we're watching along a match that we haven't seen and really haven't had a chance to see because it just
Because we did
happened.
not watch
So
the
this is
show,
weird.
so
It
I didn't watch
sounds
the
like it
show.
was
I
the
know
best.
I said on an episode previously that I was going to watch the show, but I absolutely lied. I did not put it on for a second.
Well, now this is your chance to watch part of the show.
That's it.
So that's
And you too.
two
Have
birds,
you
one
seen?
stone.
You have not seen this match yet. Have you seen any WrestleMania 42 matches yet?
I I did watch the Brock Lesnar match because then I found then Instagram blew up about what the match was really for. So I kind
Yeah.
of, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I should
I
watch it.
watched that too. I saw about 45 seconds of that match, which I believe is pretty much most of the match, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, then I did see that. So,
I saw
okay.
I also saw CM Punk slap a phone out of a fan's hand, but I don't know if that was part of the show.
Oh, well, it sounds riveting. I'm so sad we're not watching that. But instead, we are watching Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton featuring Pat McAfee. A very derided match. Long, boring, they say. But Walt, let's give it a shot right now and see if everyone agrees. Are you ready to get started?
Let's watch this piece of shit.
Okay, we have it queued up literally. Well, the frame I think we're both looking at is Pat McAfee is creeping behind referee Charles Robinson, correct? About to be up to no
Correct.
good. Is that where you are?
This is where the quote unquote bell rings, but
Yes. It's
it's metaphoric in this
and
case.
literally 18 minutes of intros before this, which everyone has talked about. That's wild. I thought they were exaggerating, but no, it was literally 18 minutes. I wanted to watch those because I was curious to see what the hell it was that could take so long, but Walt smartly talked me out of it, saying that would be stupid. We don't have time. And he's very right. So,
Sure.
all right.
Yes.
Are you ready to go?
Yep, let's do it.
We're going to do 3, 2, 1, Mania, and I'm going to hit play on Mania, okay?
On the M on Mania.
Yes, correct. It's on the M or the A, but definitely early in the word.
That's like a full like second delay if
That's
I
true.
wait
Okay,
for the A.
let's do it on the M. On M, you go,
Okay,
okay?
great.
All
Love
right.
that.
3, 2, 1, Mania.
Oh,
Uh Pat McAfee hits him with a microphone, I guess.
yeah. Now he's pantomiming stops
Yeah.
for reasons.
And the match has sort of begun, but not really. As you hinted at, the bell did not ring.
Yeah, but it's sort of rang.
This is to me
I
so
mean, something.
as you know, I know Cody's recovered already from this heinous assault. So oh, this is because this is how they get McAfee out of the match, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, thrilling.
It wasn't a no DQ though, right?
No, I don't believe so. So that's probably why they had to do a pre-bell ring.
Yeah.
So, well,
I
as
mean,
I understand, the build up to this match is obviously there was we've talked a little bit about before on previous episodes, awesometruth.libsyn.com, that it seemed unclear what they were going to do with Cody this year. Whether it was going to be some three-way or some other just, Drew Max stuff or other bullshit. And they eventually decided on the very logical sort of path of Cody Orton, which on paper makes perfect sense. Like, they have a history. They never really had a match like this on a grand stage. Like, why not? In terms of singles matches, probably about the best you could do. But there's a world famous guy, Jelly Roll.
yeah.
Here comes Jelly Roll. What's he gonna do? Oh, the fans must love Jelly Roll.
I mean, we've entered this stage of like
He just did.
interaction where now just because you're a celebrity and you're quote unquote into it isn't enough for me to care. Like when
Yes.
Bad Bunny put on a full ass match in Puerto Rico, it was like super impressive, but like, that was like several years ago at this point. Now it's like I don't just because you're a name. I Show Speed does a frog splash. I'm like, cool. Like,
Yeah.
who gives a shit?
It is like they do. It is this era of like heavily scripted, singer, performer of some celebrity of other sort match that has truly no allure to it whatsoever. Like, good for them, I guess, for going through the taking bumps and learning how to work, at the bare minimum. But yeah, I can't imagine it doesn't move the needle for any of us, and I still highly doubt it moves the needle broadly too. I think it's one of those things that it's a version of what Bruce Pritchard and them always talk about and get made fun of on his show and all that. Like, they want this mainstream press, they want this visibility, but no one has ever been able to prove that there's return on investment there.
Right. I mean, like Pat McAfee has been part of this. Like, it's led to like less ticket sales.
Yeah, and it's just and it is.
He's
funny
technically part of this.
Pat McAfee, I'd say broadly considered either you think he's like cool, I guess, or you think he's annoying. I think a lot of people think he's annoying. And so they finally turned him heel, which you'd be like, that's great. Like, turning an annoying guy heel is a very good way to, get people to clap and cheer. And like, it seems like people were happy to see him get crossroaded and all that. But at the same time, it's like, I think it's just too little too late for that kind of shit. It's like, at least he's been around for years. Like, turning him heel now, like, you've already been trying to tell us he was cool and good for so long. I just feel like it just doesn't matter anymore. Like, I've yet to see or hear anybody who thinks this is thrilling or engaging or improves the show in any real way.
Yeah, now it's
this is also taking. We did this. It's been 5 minutes, and this hasn't even gotten to the match yet. And it's so boring.
Wow.
Everyone's just standing around while they wheel Pat McAfee out.
So speaking of,
have a wrestling match.
Yeah. Speaking of Pat, so what is your understanding of where this story, and in your summation,
like what this even is?
What is this feud?
I think again, someone who doesn't watch the show, always my caveat, always my who certainly doesn't stay up with and no one, as we say many times in the show, no one should watch all of the content. Oh, that's kind of funny. I'm actually giving a thumbs up. No, oh, now it's the finger. Oh, rude.
Yeah.
I was under the impression that it was just a regular wrestling feud between two guys with history. And that wasn't really moving the needle, and everyone started getting scared about ticket prices. And then they started doing some, like, ticket prices became part of the storyline, and then the story became, like, Cody can't move tickets anymore. And then McAfee came in yelling that and becoming just, like, a bad guy voice in Orton's ear. Is that accurate as your understanding of it as well?
Well, first off, just acknowledging that the bell finally...
Okay, there we go. Ding, ding, ding.
Well, but there's also the piece of it that, like, Pat, something, attitude error, enthusiast, something, Cody is a paper champ, something, Ari Emanuel, something.
So how does the attitude
likes
error?
Older
neither one of these guys was involved in that. They're both not old enough.
Yeah, I think the first promo was so bad with him, with his heel logic of why he hates Cody and why he loves Randy. They had to retcon so many things in subsequent promos that at some point, like, it expunged everything, every reason that Pat had for going heel and being part of this feud just was undone.
Did they let him sort of go rogue on the mic and he fucked up then, or?
I just think that this thing has been so aimless and so, like, overbooked that the people writing this shit have no idea where they even started. Like,
yeah.
it's been such a, and again, to your point, I also do not watch this week to week. Thank God I don't watch this week to week, because I wasted precious TV time watching whatever the hell they've been trying.
Precious lifetime.
Yeah.
Don't give your hours to this in any capacity.
It's like what's going on Fridays has never been more strongly felt. It was like, what the fuck is going on?
I was gonna say your famous catchphrase, what the fuck is going on Fridays?
What the fuck is going on Fridays? I don't know.
Which is one of my favorite things that you say, and extremely accurate. And obviously, move the day of the week around depending on when SmackDown is airing. It's almost always a good question to ask.
Yeah, I mean, to SmackDown bookings credit, I wasn't saying that for several years in there, but then sure enough, they started to fuck around, and now it's just the B show again, and here we go.
Yep. It just sounds like they panicked in so many ways because obviously as far as I know, the Punk Roman story also became about fucking ticket prices and other extraneous TKO bullshit. Like why do that? Like what is the I think and I know Punk gave like a pipe bomb at one point on Raw in the last month, which I'm just like I cannot imagine what fucking CM Punk would say in 2026 where I'd be like, wow, he's going off, he's breaking the rules, he's shooting. Like he's a 52-year-old man, he's not shooting. He
Yeah.
couldn't possibly be shooting less. Like this is so insane for you to pretend like he's some loose cannon rebel type guy. Like he is the most corporate guy there is at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we have enough time to dissect that one.
Yeah, then we're not watching long with that one. Fortunately or unfortunately. So we're stuck with this one.
Also problematic for different reasons.
Yeah.
God, this match. I think at the end of the day with this match, as I'm watching a rear headlock, Randy Orton main event in 2026 is about the same as Randy Orton main event 2009.
Yeah.
Except people really liked him in 2026, and then they took that away from us. Oh, did you see that?
What was that?
They just reenacted. I saw this on Twitter, so I'm cheating, but they reenacted the Kennedy botch where Orton
did Orton really get hurt at one point in a match with Mr. Kennedy?
Well, according to Orton, and it got him fired, but it got Kennedy fired at the time.
Oh, is that really what they were calling back to?
I think so. I don't know why they would call back to that because A, Cody had nothing to do with that, and B, it was a real life thing that Orton kind of fucked his career.
I know. I did read that he sells the back the whole time, so that's what we're doing right here. This is the excuse.
I guess so. I didn't know if he was selling the back, but now I'm seeing it in real time. It makes sense.
I didn't realize it was related to anything beyond just what the choice they made for the match. But cool, great callback, guys. Well, to this thing that no one knows or cares about. At least not visually, at least not in a snap decision. Like, oh wow, that's a Mr. Kennedy callback. Like no one, only a deranged person would know that by sight.
Yeah, let's call back all the times Orton was the pettiest prick in pro wrestling, and it got people ruined their careers.
Because he was just some punk kid, so he's just doing punk kid shit, right?
I mean, I'd have to remember exactly when it was, but yeah, I guess he was still a kid back then, technically.
Yeah,
compared to mid-20s. I mean, I guess you're a kid.
And in terms of the biz, I guess you're not a grown ass man. I will say, have you read what the alternative? One of the pitches for this match they claim was.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So I believe the McAfee thing was also tied to Orton was getting phone calls or something. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what set up the McAfee reveal.
And it was McAfee on the phone. It was basically like a higher power thing, right?
Of course, yeah. Classic.
Classic. A beloved storyline that they do in some capacity every 5 years. So apparently the initial pitch was not for it to be that stupid idea at all. Another probably stupid idea, which is Aleister Black was going to be the voice in Orton's ear. I don't know if that would have been a surprise or if that would have been even obvious. And because he's a mean devil guy, he was going to be telling Randy Orton to be mean and listen to his demons. And then Orton would have given into the demons and done a thing that he does at the end of this match in a different capacity. But basically, Aleister Black was going to be Pat McAfee. Which, Aleister Black is a guy they have on the roster.
Is this the part where I offer a reason for that or a reaction?
I think the only improvement I can really see there is that Aleister Black works for the company and is a wrestler. So you're like, well, I guess he gets a rub from being involved in the main event of night one, So maybe that's good for his career and status on the roster, which is, I like Aleister Black in theory, I guess. I haven't seen him wrestle a second since he came back, but I've liked him before.
Well, also, I guess they could have played off the feud they had in AEW, I guess. The fact that they were rivals there for a year with the House of Black and stuff.
That's true. That's something, I guess. Yeah.
I guess. They could have, that would be the only reason why they would be plays together. I mean, because Aleister Black, my understanding is he has been having interactions with Sami Zayn and Orton is like the devil on one side of their like
Oh, so that's
metaphoric
sort of what they're
shoulder.
doing. Interesting. So that's a thing they're doing already in some capacity. It would just been more
Yeah, and it wasn't on
serious.
the phone; it was in backstage segments. So,
Okay. But they also might
um,
maybe they were literally going to go that route then and make it more prominent tied to the main event, and then they said, Evan said, let's call McAfee up.
yeah, you know what they could have
So
done is they could have just leaned on their shared history as
yeah,
they were a part of a group called Legacy for at least a year or so.
yep.
They dominated the main event scene of 2008 to
They could
2010.
have
They could
they
have,
could have brought Ted Jr. back, and I think he's committing fraud in Mississippi. But if they can get him
yeah,
out of those
yeah.
pesky fraud charges, Ted could come home.
Yeah, well, I mean, that could have been the phone or voice on the end
Yeah,
of the other line of
I'm
the
sure.
phone
I'm
too.
sure somebody on Reddit pitched that too, right? They said, "Oh, it's Ted on the phone."
I'm sure someone backstage pitched that. It would make sense. It would
It
make.
would be more logical than a random guy who works on ESPN.
Yeah, there's so many other ways we could have done this.
This is
And
really boring too, by the way. Like it's if we wanted to talk about the action in front of us, we would have nothing. Like we there would be nothing to say.
yeah,
They're just doing like slowly doing this because Orton selling the back. I'm sure 10 people have said this already. Means he's gonna move slower already because he can't really. So like then you're just dooming yourself to a match that is low impact and low, and plodding around.
if you've really built this the right way, though, I feel like this. Like, I hate to say that, but like, I feel like
Oh, but he hurt his own back, Randy. Why did you do the superplex?
think of Roman Cody from the last several years ago. Like, those weren't necessarily like the greatest wrestling clinics ever put on. There was, I mean, the OG Roman matches were so slow too.
Yeah.
So I feel as if maybe the terrible build led me to really not give a shit about any of this.
Yeah. I was literally just going to
Which,
say that. I was going to say, and it's an obvious thing to say, but still saying it out loud for the sake of saying it. When you have enthusiasm going into a match because of a good build, it's just the crowd is more into it. Things just naturally, I feel like, are crisper and received better. When you have some dumb shit, everyone just yawns the entire time, and you're left with this.
yeah, I remember at one point the big there was like a mini rivalry within the rivalry of like who would main event night 2, and now with all this unfolding, it's like, yeah, this was clear. Like, this was never even in contention for night 2. This was so, not that like I'm excited for Punk Roman, but you know what I'm definitely not excited for is whatever the fuck this is.
Yeah. Yes. I feel like it's
Yeah.
also the way Mania is timed this year. Like having Mania on, April 19th or whatever is just April 18th is a killer. It's just so late in the year. You have Rumble in January, and then you have 3 full months you have to kill. Like that is so long. Like that you have to one of the storylines is already decided upon by then, and then you have to extend at least at least one story for 3 months, the other one for probably 2 to almost 3 months. Like it's just so hard to do that,
Yeah, it is, but that's still no excuse for terrible ideas.
It is not. You're right.
Yeah,
It is absolutely. It's happened. They've done it before many times, so it's not like it's a insurmountable problem, but it just for a show that just cannot find its footing week to week, which again is why we don't watch fucking week to week. It's just you're almost doing them to failure by asking them to put on 12 Raws, 12 SmackDowns in that period and make them interesting and tell a cohesive story. Like it was just, especially when they're working on the fly, it seems like they did for so much this year, where it was just everything felt so piecemeal. There was no grand overarching story. There's no bloodline. There's no finish the story. There's no nothing. It's just they had nothing the entire time, and they kept acting like they're going to figure it out, and they settled, and none of it thrilled anyone.
I just don't understand that. Like, just with anything in TV, it's like, what's the end and work your way back?
Yep.
And I understand things change, injuries happen, yeah, but there's no injuries impeding them from coming up with this idea 6 months ago and saying,
Oh,
okay, well, who's the Oh, wow.
Look at that. Wow.
I feel like they don't do that ever, really.
No, not usually. I'm sure he bladed, but.
Well, sure, yeah.
Yeah,
I just mean they don't even do that. They don't get no color anymore.
Well, they had to, it's so epic though. He's bleeding. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, right.
I'll ask you a question since we're watching a Cody Rhodes match. What are your thoughts on Cody Rhodes at this point in 2026? He's been there for a very long time. He's main evented 4 Manias in a row. Is that right? 5? 4?
Him and Cena, yeah.
Yeah.
And then him and Roman times 2.
Cena, Roman, and then this one. So 4, right?
Well, we really calling this the main event?
Yeah, I mean I do that only because the stupid storyline last year was Punk was finally in the main event, So I think you have to count night 1 as a main event. It's not the main event, but I think my point is more obviously to illustrate Cody's status on the roster, which is number 1B probably, if not 1A. And then assessing what we think about him with that sort of in that role for so many years.
Well, I think the fact that he's on night 1 and not night 2 tells you everything you need to know. His momentum is shifting backwards, not forwards.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where
the
poor.
Oh,
right. Poor booking decisions begins and ends with protecting him and whose call that is and how much leverage he has and oh boy. So he's gonna eat it or something. Like some Hangman Page shit where it's hypodermic needles in his mouth.
It wouldn't be the most Cody thing to do, but it would be, I heard someone say too, the critique of this match is apparently, the feud they've been having has been very passionate and intense and big fights and stuff. And then they went on to have a wrestling match, and everyone was like, why are they just wrestling so much? Shouldn't they be furious at each other? It just felt like they spent a lot of time just doing moves instead of beating each other up.
This has been a feud based on passion.
Yeah. And then passion means
that's what people would say.
Locking up and submissions and headlocks, like you said. Anyway,
yeah.
Cody,
I don't know what this feud's been really. I don't know if he's unwilling to turn heel. We got to do something different though. This is just make him the Homelander. Make him Homelander. It's easy. That would be a perfect casting for him. And sure, the babies would kind of dislike him and cry for a little bit, but that's totally fine because it's totally fine.
But I mean, the knock on him in AEW always was though that he, had enough power and used it to never turn heel, right? He always wanted to be the conquering hero, even when the crowds were not responding to that. So I imagine those criticisms are coming up yet again, is that he's just not seeing the forest for the trees. He had a great run too, like we just said. He's been on top for quite a long time and had a great babyface run, but this is 2 stinker main events in a row, that should really say something. Oh, he's doing the Orton.
Oh, he's slamming the.
Oh.
Oh, Crossroads.
We're actually synced up for a change. Wow, this is great. We're both saying "oh" at the right time.
Yeah.
It's because we did the Mania thing, worked perfectly.
We synced it onto the continent. Yeah.
This crowd is really my volume is low. This crowd seems dead, right?
Well, I hear they sat through more commercials than they did match time.
Really? Was it that bad?
That's what I hear. I mean, the longest match outside of the main event was 8 minutes or something stupid like that.
That's wild. I haven't looked at that. That's crazy. What is? I know people said it was like a Raw, so I mean that checks out, but that's so strange. Yeah, holy shit. There was the Gunther Seth got 17 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And Jake got 2 and Drew got 14, but then it was 7, 8, 8, 6.
But even 14 for a major feud like that, the AEW match cards will have several 20+
and the whole
matches.
Point of moving to 2 nights is so you can have many lengthy matches if you need to,
No, you know what? You know what the point is more commercials.
Yeah, that's right. Selling more shit. Well, they gave
more
Liv Morgan
ads.
Stephanie Vaquero lost to Liv Morgan in 7 minutes. That's for your main women's title. Or I guess your secondary
Yep.
women's title because Rhea got the main. But still, a
Well, Liv was the Rumble winner, so one could
yeah.
argue that it was the main
And that match got
female
7 minutes. Like that's some like 2002 shit.
Yeah, that's not even enough time to go to the bathroom and back.
Yeah, that's insane. Why would they?
Not
What
that I
is
would.
this?
Yeah.
This is nuts. This is such a strange. Like I get giving I Show Speed's match. Although it's a 6-man, you don't even need the I Show Speed doesn't have to be in the ring. He can just chill on the back and fight in the like. Yeah, this is crazy. This looks dumb as hell.
Yeah, it was just. Yeah, I heard about some stuff. I listened to
Even
some
the
stuff.
next night, even last night was, or as of this recording, even Sunday night was very bad too. Like the ladder match got 15 minutes, Finn Dom got 10, Rhea Jade got 10. Like it's still, it was the same thing at both nights. Everyone got 8 minutes.
I don't get it.
That's so strange. Like it's just. They must have someone must have been
being
telling
said-
them that like no one they must have convinced themselves that no one has any patience anymore and like but
Attention span is at 0.
but no one is I don't know what you'd be basing that on. Like yes, people do flip around a lot, but I'd flip around more if there was a bunch of 7-minute matches and like you said a bunch of commercials. I'd be like, well now I'm flipping around because there's no content here. There's no substance. Like, so why am I watching this? It's just replaceable garbage.
RKO.
Okay. Oh, a clean kick out of the RKO. Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't even take too long to cover him or anything. That's an interesting choice.
Well, it's WrestleMania, so they're gonna kick out each other's finishers 5,000 times.
But you know me, I like when someone kicks out when there's a reason for someone to kick out.
Sure, give me just one.
Yeah,
one
you give me the
delay.
barest minimum, Give me the tiniest. Give me, he took a little too long, or he didn't connect it full, He only hit a half RKO or whatever.
Jeez. Well, I mean, I think this match is coming to an end soon, but I actually have no idea.
And that's
they could be just doing this for another 20 minutes.
It's a 22-minute match, so like they're acting like they're spent. It's only been, it's been 17 minutes. It's not like it's been a half-hour brawl. It's been pretty normal length match so far. So if they're that tired, that's kind of on them. It's just been been farting around the whole time. So not really sure what's been so exhausting.
I'm curious if the crowd is. I can't really hear, but I wonder if the crowd is booing Cody.
Because I guess that's been happening. I heard that. That's been sort of a thing, right?
Yeah. People
They
are
seem to be
fighting over it.
Yeah, they're doing the punches, and Orton seems to be getting the yays.
They really should have done a double turn.
Yeah. Like you said, this is the perfect. It's the perfect time for Cody. Now they don't even have to do the turn of like, oh, there we go. He's sort of fucking around. That's a heel. Oh. Why did Randy do that? He should also be.
He was blinded.
But he just grabbed the guy who was behind him. Now it wasn't Orton. It wasn't Cody. Cody was clearly in front of him.
Or maybe.
Also, he should be DQ for that. Charles Robinson saw it happen. Like he knows who RKO'd him.
Yeah, I wonder what the ruling is there.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh.
So okay, so they're doing. He poked him in the eyes. He's kicked him in the balls. Like they're certainly hinting a little bit at it, but they're not doing anything with it. Obviously, they're.
What's with everyone's aversion to going heel? Not everyone's, but like Cena, Cody. Well, not Cena.
Cena went heel, and it was, as we remember, it was. Oh, that was so stupid.
Well, yeah, 20 years too late.
Yes.
It's like with Randy going heel this year. It's like everybody wants to just cheer this guy because he's just been around for. Now he's just like a legacy.
Yeah,
act.
when he taps into his voices and does mean shit, everyone thinks it's cool because they're like, oh, now he's doing the Orton stuff we used to love. Oh, McAfee. As friend of the show, Matt Rice texted me, why does Pat McAfee have any authority here? He's not a referee.
Yeah, I don't.
Also,
get
that was a very fast count. He could have quick counted that shit if he wanted to, if he was truly a heel ref.
Oh god, I didn't realize his knee pad. No, Cody's knee pad had sequins on it. It must hurt to get like kneed.
Probably. Okay, so now Cole's at least acknowledging that perhaps this would not have been a official end of match had Pat counted 3.
Ugh. This is just such an overbooked.
And like I said, there's a world where Pat McAfee's a bad guy, and I'm into it too, because Pat McAfee's annoying as hell.
Yeah.
But this is just the weirdest way to do it. Is this just it? A clean crossroads? Wow.
Cody
Oh my
retains.
God. Charles Robinson wakes up, I mean, just right at the right time, misses everything bad, sees it like just It's so like it's so funny too, because like watching this right now, it's very simple in a unimpressive way, which I think is even more frustrating had you followed along with the story, because like this was so needlessly convoluted to get here, and we took so many twists and turns that were not needed, and then we get there and they do the most like by the books boring stuff, and you're like, well, why do we circle around the fireworks factory for 2 hours, and then we get there and you just drive right up to the front door, like with the most milk toast stuff you could possibly think of.
The fireworks factory metaphor, yes.
Yeah. Heel ref,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Ref, ref goes down to unconscious. Like it's all just the most kick out of a couple finishers. Like it's just so paint by numbers.
I just don't understand how you guys but
me and my friends, Vince McMahon,
weeks to figure out how are we going to like plan this match, and how are we going to like do this, and then this is the what they have. Like, could you call Shawn Michaels like, hey, could you put me together like an epic WrestleMania match, please?
Yeah,
I'll pay you money to do that, because like this isn't, unless they called in the ring, like this is what the plan was.
Yep. I mean, it's so funny because 2 years ago, like this company was on such a high, like finishing up great storylines. Everything was looking so good and strong, and they had so many like Cody was the new face of the company, but you had Roman, you had Seth, you had Punk, you had all these guys, and then and now it's just like you see how far they've fallen, and it felt like they really were too big to fail, and obviously financially they probably are, but just creatively, It's wild to see like how far things fell apart with the same roster basically, and a lot of the same stuff, the same bookers, same everything, but just have nothing going on right now.
This is a dream match they saved for a special occasion, and then found a way to make the. So what happens now? Does Cody fight Kevin Owens again? Like they're running out of possibilities.
Obviously, what you're doing, what we're literally watching right now, is proof that this isn't even over. Even though the good guy won clean.
Oh, basically. We need a backlash main event. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an ass. They're gonna have a no holds barred ass slash match now, I bet.
Yeah.
That's a tongue twister too. No holds barred ass slash.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna do the punt. Oh. He kicked him. Don't really understand why this is such a heinous move too. Like people do a lot of wrestling moves to you that are like you're not paying attention, you get blindsided. Like I know it has history, but it's just weird that it's like, why would that hurt so much more than various knees and elbows and stuff you could do?
I mean, logically, I guess that would really concuss the shit out of someone, but so would unprotected like punch directly to the face too. Yes. That would also concuss someone in a regular fight.
Yep.
So
I see, the fans, Orton's getting a little bit of cheers as it goes. Like certainly not shock and awe and disgust. Like a lot of people were like, "Yeah, good job, Randy."
Yeah, good job, Randy.
All right. Well, I think we know what the answer is, but what did you think of that, Walt? What do you think of what people said about it? And what did you think actually watching it?
That was understanding at this point that I guess night one is just throwaway. Perfect main event for night one. If that was night two, that would have been very, very big problem.
Remember the night one main? It was on the best matches of all time at Mania, available in our archives. They had the Sammy and Kevin Owens versus the Usos match. That was, I think that's the actual perfect night one main event. Is just some fun, dumb shit that is 15 minutes of fan service. Like I feel like send everyone home happy on night one with an entertaining sort of romp, as opposed to like false drama and waste of time like this.
I'm not saying night one has to be throwaway. I'm just saying based on the card that we just talked about during that watch along, it felt pretty throwaway. I mean,
Yeah.
night two sounds a lot better,
It
and
does.
so
And that's why we chose
night
night one
one
to
with
talk about.
that is fine.
We wanted to be mean, right? We wanted to be rude as opposed to watching something that might actually entertain us.
Yeah, I was entertained by just how baffling the booking decisions have been in the last however many weeks leading up to this.
Well,
So,
we'll see how
mm,
much more we revisit this mania. I don't know if we ever will. I think it might be time to move on, Walt, to other greener pastures, to perhaps a Shawn Michaels documentary or something like that
yeah.
instead of this very subpar show. Be it though we cannot say with definitiveness whether night two was mediocre or good or somewhere in between, but I feel like we've seen enough. I've seen enough.
Well, or we could watch along when these two inevitably have a rematch at Astley. No
Should we
provocation match, Astley replay.
should we make that promise right now to the fans?
Or
If they have
backlash shit.
Are we
Backlash.
saying we're gonna watch
Astley.
along to any of these rematches that they have? We'll commit to that.
I'm not committing to that. No, definitely not. I'd rather just revisit the best WrestleMania matches instead.
I'm gonna try and sell you on an ass slash watch along if we do get that, but I also will not sell you too hard if you're vehemently opposed because that was boring, and I imagine that any future matches will also be boring. So we'll see. I will
Yeah.
not waste a lot of energy on the sell point there.
Okay, good. That makes me happy.
Well, if you want to hear us talk about better WrestleMania matches, WrestleMania history, etc., you can find our archives, awesometruth.libsyn.com, for episodes old and new. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever podcasts are delivered. We are there. Walt, nice to watch Mania with you. It was fine. It's over. It's done. Much like WWE, I think we can put WrestleMania to bed and move on to things that are more fun and entertaining.
Which I'm not quite sure what that even means at
Yeah.
this point.
Well,
This was supposed to be the culmination of a year's worth of like fun and entertainment, and it was pretty bad. So, what
for
does the
them,
continuation of that look like?
For them, I definitely don't know. For you and I, it means documentaries and books and other things that we might actually get joy out of. So,
That's fair. All right, I will subscribe to that.
all right, perfect. Thank you all so much for listening. And remember, the truth will set you free.